Hi, I'm Lainey Iverson, and I'm going to be interviewing some of Ms. Rojas's AP Art students.
Hello, my name is Joshua McPherson.
Can you explain why you chose to draw yourself in each of your art pieces?
I chose to draw myself in each one of these art pieces because I love myself, and I really just wanted to incorporate myself in different colors and schemes, and I guess alienate myself in a way, just different versions of myself with different mediums, different styles of painting. So it's really just trying to focus on how can I create myself, but different ways as well.
Which piece would be your favorite and why?
This piece. This piece would be my favorite because it's just multiple versions of myself, and my face particularly, but like in paintings of different colors. And mainly about this piece is I felt like I really could experiment on myself out of the most out of all these pieces, because I could paint myself blue, I could make myself purple, and it was fun, and I could just work with that. And the other piece is just like, but this one in particular is just my favorite.
Which one was the most challenging for you?
Most challenging was, I'm gonna have to say this one. Just trying to make it with like a wolf, but also myself. This is the beast within. It was just very struggling trying to make the wolf in a different color and myself, just trying to incorporate those two, but and have to align everything so in a way you could still understand what I'm trying to create. That was the most struggling, trying to create and make my own colors, create my own monster.
Oh, thank you for your time, Josh.
Hi, my name is Demaya Harper, and this is the 5 pieces of art that I chose to display in the art show. I chose these pieces because these are like the only 5 pieces that I have at home that I haven't sold away to people. So yeah, this is it.
Is there a theme behind the pieces that you chose?
Well, with these two, there are because I'm very fascinated when it comes down to like space things, like galaxies and all. So I decided to do galactical things.
And what does this piece mean to you?
Really, these 3 pieces are the pieces that I done for my mom and my little sister. And this one right here, it's just a nickname, Moni, because my little sister name is Moni, and she loves rainbows and like fruits, especially grapes, and like little flowers. So I just did this for her.
Thank you, Demaya.
Hello, my name is Jaden Blue, and this is my senior concentration / breath 5 quality pieces for the art show. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my concentration. My concentration was a remastered concentration from last year, where a lot of surrealistic art and yeah, just a lot of things that are abnormal pertaining to me.
Do you have a reason why you chose these 5 pieces?
Well, out of the stuff that I have now, I feel like these are the best that I have, and they just show a lot of character, and honestly, it got a lot of attraction when I posted on social media. So I mainly just stuck to these 5, and a lot of people tend to know these 2 people, so I just end up putting them in my show as well.
How did you create each of these?
Well, it's a series of digital painting and photo manipulation, and taking a lot of different elements from stock photos and putting it together. But most of these are like styles that I've been doing since I start getting into graphics, like since 7th, 6th grade. So it's just all Adobe programs.
Anything you'd like to add about your pieces?
I guess I just like the surrealistic element of it all. I guess that's my biggest thing. Just having people say, well, this is weird. How did you do that? And is this real? No, it's not. But yeah, that's what I love about it.
Hey, my name is Dallas Thomas.
Hi, Dallas. Can you explain why you created these pieces?
I created these pieces because like I'm inspired by like, 90s music or whatever. That's what my style is basically on, and whatever, like 90s, 80s, 70s or whatever. But it's also due to the fact like I don't use color because I feel like, things shouldn't be judged based on color or whatever. I used to use color, but like I just changed the way I did things. And when I had to use black and white, it's kind of like I had to have more details. I had to add more stuff that I like. And plus, also I like fashion, so that's why I have like many different prints. So
Can you explain why you chose this sort of print for this image?
I think cow print is pretty fine. I like cheetah print, cow print, zebra print. I think animal prints are just dope.
What's the hardest part about creating each of your pieces?
And like me trying to make it as detailed as I can make it. And I use ink pen and stuff like that, so that can it's hard to blend that. I have to find ways to make that look good or whatever. I think that's probably the hardest one about it.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sophie Mosley, and these are some of my art pieces that I've made from this school year.
Can you explain the motive behind each of your pieces?
Okay, so each of my pieces is made from a different medium because I just like to be unapologetically experimental in the art classroom because I feel like it's a safe place where I can try new things.
I see you have an underwater theme. Can you explain why you chose that?
So my concentration for this year was saving marine life. That's a prevalent issue in today's society. We have a lot of pollution going on in our oceans, and I wanted to literally and physically draw attention to it.
So I see that you cut out magazine pieces for this piece. Can you explain how you created it?
Well, I just literally ripped up a magazine and then I dipped it in a mixture of glue and water, and I did paper mache kind of to put it down.
I think it's very cool. Thank you, Sophie. I'm here today with
Jacob Hoover.
So can you explain why you chose black and white and just some color in your artwork?
With my artwork, I have it black and white because that's what I'm best at with graphite, and then I add in some kind of color to represent something about the person. So whether it be however I feel about that person or something that's important about that person, I'll emphasize it with color to kind of bring attention to it.
Is there anything specific you like about the AP program?
Yeah, I really like how it really fosters growth and how you enter the AP program, as one way, and then over the course of the year, you really grow as an artist and as an individual. So my concentration is portraits of people, and then I like to add some type of color or some type of symbolism to really represent that person and who they are. So I'll have a black and white portrait with some kind of color or some kind of symbolism added in.
And here today with
Reagan Owen.
So can you explain the pieces behind me?
Yeah, sure. I just painted some of my favorite artists in hip hop today that had a really big influence on my life personally, and I'm sure hundreds of other lives too.
Can you tell me what inspired you to create these pieces?
I really loved each and every one of these artists' music, and I listen to them all the time. I really love XXX Tentacion, so
Would you say that that's the favorite piece that you created?
definitely yes.
How hard was it to create each of these?
It was a lot of trial and error, really. Took a lot of layers, a lot of redoing, a few hours, but it wasn't too hard.
Well, thank you, Reagan.
Hello, my name is Corey Curtis, and these are my 5 art pieces that I put in the art show.
Can you explain how you created each of your graphic design pieces?
Okay, so I take graphic design at RCA, so usually I like to experiment with the different things that I learned, but I use all of them. I use Adobe Photoshop to create every single piece. In this one, I took a picture actually, and then I added in the moon, the background, and the exposure. Everything else I got was PNGs and fixed the lighting and everything.
What's significant about this art piece?
Okay, so that wasn't actually supposed to look. I was supposed to add some more to it, but I was at my friend's house and he was like, "Oh, let's just paint and watch TV together." I was like, "Okay." So we did it, and then I ended up really liking it. So I was like, "Oh my gosh, what should I do with it next?" Because it was just her. So then I added the other little creatures in the background.
Do you think that art is a part of your lifestyle?
Oh, definitely, yes. Without it, I wouldn't be me. So.
Thank you. Today with
Chelsea Castile.
So can you explain your graphic design pieces for me?
So I've been really interested in the fantasy concept, so I like to incorporate that into my work. So 3 of my pieces are part of my concentration, which is fantasy themed, and then my other 2 are just breath pieces. So they're things that I'm just interested in and I wanted to try out.
How did you create each of these pieces?
So I use a program called Photoshop, and I use a lot of the tools on there to take my pictures apart and then put them together into whatever I want them to look like.
Is there anything else you'd like to add about your artwork?
I just am really interested in keeping a fantasy theme and making things look very light, so I hope that is shown through my artwork.
Hi, I'm Ashley, and these are my 5 quality pieces.
What do you like about photography?
I like being able to make people pretty.
So why did you choose these 5 pieces for your portfolio?
Well, this piece is part of my concentration, and that was my favorite one out of my concentration. And I liked that one because of the depth of it. I like the colors in this one, and these 2 are just my other 2 favorites out of all of my work.
Why did you choose the people in your photos?
Well, Jaden is in this one, and that one, and I've known him since my sophomore year, and I've taken a lot of photos of him, and he's a really great model. And then this is my best friend, and I love taking photos of her too. So.
Thank you, Ashley.
Hi, my name is Alexandria Brown, and these are the 5 pieces that I chose to show in my art show.
Can you explain why you chose these 5 pieces?
So for these 5 pieces, I really wanted to show a range of media that I've been able to work with my time here in the Academy. So as you see here, they're all kind of a different type of media. So I have oil paint, acrylics, have a collage, soft pastels, and watercolor.
Why do you choose this theme of art?
So my main concentration is the universe, and so you see in these 2 pieces just that main theme, but these other pieces are kind of my breath pieces, so just things that I've wanted to experiment with, or things that just kind of came to me.
Do you have a favorite piece of art and why?
I would have to say that my favorite piece of art is this one behind you. It's called Thug Life, and I got the inspiration from the movie The Hate You Give, and so I painted this after watching the movie, and so I was really upset after watching it, and so that's kind of why you see all the emotion in that piece that you do see.
Today with
Juliet Butler.
So can you explain the pieces behind me?
Okay, well, these 3 right here, that green portrait, this one, and this one are all a part of a series in my AP Art portfolio. Oh, they're all are supposed to show symbolism about how it's supposed to contrast masculine and effeminate qualities in men. And I wanted to show use the bright colors to show for example, I use pink to represent femininity. But yeah, and this piece right here, it was another section of my portfolio where I wanted to experiment, so it was something different than what I usually do, which is portraits.
So what do you enjoy about the AP Art program?
I enjoy that it gives me more opportunities to get better and improve my art, and I get to express myself.
Okay. What elements did you use to create this project?
Well, first, the medium I used for this, medium is the material I use to draw. So what I use for this is oil pastel, and it's just on some plain white paper. And what really influenced me was this one picture I saw of this cast member from, she's an actress, she's from the show Stranger Things. I forgot her name, but y'all probably know what I'm talking about. But yeah, she really influenced me to make this piece, the colors and everything.
I'm Naomi Robertson, and these are my 5 pieces.
Why did you choose these 5 art pieces?
I chose these 5 pieces because I feel like each of them shows a strength that I've been working on. So here with the flowers, I felt like I did really well with the shading and making them look kind of real. And for this one, I worked on it for 2 months to make it perfect. This one, it was the first time I used spray paint, and I felt like it looked really well. And this is just, I felt like it was a really strong piece of mine. And for this, it was the first time that I ever used a good technique with contrast.
How do you feel like you express yourself in your art?
Every time I do art, I just do what I want. I choose a subject that I like and I think is really cool. So for this, it was just an alien person. And then I'm in healthcare, so I chose to do a heart for this. And this is my boyfriend. And I like fairies, and I felt like there's only one brown fairy on the Tinkerbell show. I don't know what it's called, but so I decided to do another one. And I also like flowers.
What's significant about each piece that you chose?
For each piece, I feel like it has a little bit of my personality in it, because it's each one has something I like. I like blue, I like anatomy, I like my boyfriend, I like fairies and flowers.
Thank you, Naomi.
Hi, my name is Abby Wilcox, and these are my ceramic pieces.
What do you enjoy about ceramics?
I like being able to make things that come in my mind, like, yeah, I don't really know, to be honest.
How do you create each of these?
Well, most of them are handmade, like just starting with a ball and like forming it with my hands, but these 3 bowls I made on the pottery wheel.
How hard and how long is it for you to create these?
To me, it's not too hard since I've been doing it for 2 years, but usually each piece takes me about 1 class period.
Oh, is there anyone that you would say is your favorite?
My favorite would probably be my Abbey pot because I think it looks really nice and it turned out well with the colors and the name.
Well, thank you, Abby. I'm here today with
Justin Daniels.
So can you tell me about the pieces?
Basically they're graphic art pieces about from my friends. They're of my friends, and they're from my art portfolio, AP Art.
Okay. What do you enjoy about AP Art?
It's fun, I guess. Doing this is fun. So this kind of style is fun.
Okay. So how long have you been doing art?
I've been doing it since I was a kid, like very little. But I've been in the Fine Arts Academy for about 4 years, since freshman year.
Is there anything you'd like to add about this?
Not really.
Thank you. And I'm here today with
Brandon Tate.
So can you tell me about your artwork behind me?
Okay, so for the most part, I love doing portraits and stuff like that. For AP, I started doing paintings, but she felt that I was stronger in graphic design because I've done graphic design forever. So I put the 2 together, and so I have graphic design portraits. Most of these are just random people that I've found on the internet, and each one of them have a different element about them than the other. And then this one was just that was work I did for a client because I do freelance graphic design. What inspired me to do these paintings, other than that I like portraits, I don't know. Expressions. I like doing expressions on people, so each one of them have a different expression, especially this one. That was fun. Yeah. Any other questions?
Okay, well, how long have you been interested in art?
Me and art have an interesting relationship. It's like a love-hate relationship. You know, some days I love it, other days I can't stand it. But, you know, it brought me here, so why not?
Well, that's good. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Delaney Willette, and these are 5 pieces that I chose for my concentration.
So why did you choose these pieces for your concentration?
So my concentration is based around like sports photography, since I'm an athlete and I just like capturing like the emotions and everything that comes with sports.
Why did you choose these 5 people?
So I just tried to, well, these 2 are my brother, who's a runner, and I chose this one because I'm a swimmer, and yeah, I just like taking pictures in the water, and I like the way the water looks. This one I just liked because it shows like success after competition, I guess, like what can come from hard work. And this one I chose because it's one of my best friends and he plays tennis.
How do you express yourself through photography?
I just like, oh shoot, this is a tough question. I like to show like the emotions through photography, I guess. Yeah.
Thank you, Delaney.